Hello, Balua. You know, it's not every day you get to see a totally hidden city that nobody else has seen for centuries.
Apart from Asov.
Apart from Assad
And a few of his men.
and a few of his men.
You ready?
You just totally crushed that moment. You know that, right? Yeah, I'm ready.
How do we get in?
Hey, what's up everyone? PersNikity here. Welcome back to the Uncharted Lost Legacy crushing difficulty walkthrough. This is Chapter 7, Lost Legacy, and right at the start of the level you're going to have to deal with some combat. So instead of jumping up onto the platform, you're going to have to deal with 2 snipers, a rocket launcher, and then a regular enemy. So I recommend just hanging from the ledge and using your pistol to take these guys out. You should have plenty of ammo to do it. So go ahead and just take them out. Again, if you step up onto the platform, then it'll just be open season. They'll be able to shoot you rather easily, so I recommend just hanging here. It takes a little longer, and also you're kind of far away, so you have to be pretty accurate, otherwise you're going to run out of bullets. But probably the safest strategy is to just hang there. Now, once you take out those 4 guys, don't worry, no one else is going to ambush you. You're going to see a cut in the video there because I actually missed that jump, but you will get a checkpoint, so you don't have to worry about killing those 4 guys again. And so now from here, ignore what I'm doing right now. I thought that I could flank left, but as you can see, I actually can't climb up on the left side of this, so I'm going to have to backtrack to right here. Now, in the next area, there's going to be a handful of enemies, and it's much easier. This firefight is not very difficult because there is good cover. That's the problem with Uncharted 4, and in this game, not really a problem, but it just makes things challenging. A lot of the times you don't have great cover in the firefights. This is not the case here. You have plenty of cover. I recommend hopping up to the second story. And again, you will start the area with stealth, but I say screw it. Go ahead and just start firing away at these guys. Because this is a good map for a firefight because all of the cover is basically non-destructible and there's multiple levels. So if you're standing on the second level, you have the high ground. It makes things a bit easier. I think Obi-Wan would agree with you or agree with me. It's not a very good area for stealth, and stealth is hard enough on crushing anyway. Now this guy's shooting at me over here. I'm not going to be able to shoot him, so I'm just going to forget about him for now. I'm going to kind of venture my way into here. Now whenever you see these big guys, just finish them off with 2 quick headshots. Obviously it's easier said than done, but you don't have to shoot their chest. In fact, that's not the recommended method. If you just get 2 quick headshots, same thing with those guys that are wearing helmets, it's going to take 2 headshots to kill them, not just 1. But anyway, once you clear this first room, you're already going to see a couple guys across the way in the next little area. So go ahead and work on taking them out. Again, you can see you will eventually re-enter stealth, but like I said, I kind of think it's pointless to even try to do stealth here. It's just not the right layout for the map, and like I said, on crushing, stealth is not that effective. Now I'm going to try to open this lockbox, but I forgot there was a couple guys that will spawn, so you might not want to make your way towards that lockbox just yet. Notice too how I have a full supply of claymores. That's because I made sure to stock up in the last level. If you don't have claymores, that's okay, but you're gonna want to make sure you pick up any grenades you can find. There should be plenty to pick up after killing all these enemies, so you're gonna want to look around for grenades. Just be patient and take the time to actually scavenge the area, and that's because in the next section there's going to be 2 of the really big guys, the guys that are carrying turrets and have tons of armor on them. And I'm going to use my claymores to kill the first one, and it makes it very easy because those guys are just ammo sponges. So you don't want to shoot them that way. So already you see there's 1 grenade I could have picked up, but again, you can't carry grenades and claymores at the same time, so you're going to have to pick one. I think there's going to be another grenade right here, so you can see it on the ground. That's 2 grenades already. So even if you enter this area with no claymores, there's 3 grenades. So 3 grenades, you should be fine. Make sure you pick those up, and then also you'll notice I just picked up the Desert 5, basically a 1-hit kill on any standard enemy, so make sure you pick that up as well. Alright, and so now you can see there's no more areas. There's no more enemies. There's grenade number 4, so even if you don't come into this area with claymores, you will be fine. Just pick up all the grenades, and then you'll notice there are no more enemies in this second area. so you can kind of feel free to move on. Now this structure right here that I'm hiding behind, this is where we're going to take on the first heavy. But before we do that, we're going to have to spawn them. So you're not going to be given the stealth option here. As soon as you go up these stairs and just progress a little bit forward, there you go, you'll start hearing him shoot at you. The enemies will automatically spawn. So what you're going to want to do is take cover behind this structure right here. Now there is going to be an enemy with a grenade launcher, so you want to be careful of him. So you see right here, he threw one at me. Luckily I was able to get back behind cover in time. So just be cautious of that. You might want to try to kill him first. But now you see I'm throwing these claymores on the bridge here. It'll take 2 to kill this guy, so there was 1. There goes 2. And he's out. And the second one will not spawn until you kill all of the guys in this area. So don't worry about that for now. Or at least I don't think he'll spawn unless you go far enough into the map. So that's why I'm going to kind of stay back here. I'm going to use my Desert 5 now, and you're going to see I'm just going to pick off all the small guys. So the grenade launching enemy is right up here. Make sure you take him out as quickly as you can. He's going to take a couple extra shots because he has stronger armor. But then I'm just going to take out some of these smaller guys. 1, 2, and let's make it 3 for good measure. There we go. Alright, so now obviously if you're in this situation, you're going to want to find a replacement pistol. But just make sure you have at least 1 weapon on you, preferably not a shotgun. Alright, and so you'll notice that the enemy's turret is right here. So I'm going to leave this here because I am going to want to use this later against the second heavy. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it right there. Make sure you know where it is depending on where you killed the first heavy. Then go ahead and scale this wall. As soon as you get up, that's when the next wave of enemies are going to spawn. You'll notice there's a China Lake there. If you want to, if you don't have any assault rifle ammo, you can pick that up. But otherwise, I'm going to trigger the enemies, and then I'm just going to run back here to this location. Now, there's going to be a couple small guys, but Nadine should keep them distracted. So you see she's already running around doing her job. I'm going to use the turret here to kill the big guy. So here we go. Shouldn't take too many shots. The turret is incredibly powerful. And there you go. So the big guy, really easy to kill with that turret. Now there's just a couple little guys left. Always be cautious of grenades. Nadine took on this shotgun guy. I'm going to go ahead and help her out, finish the job. One more guy up here. Now I think there's one more guy. They'll just kind of be running around, so just be ready for them. You want to stay back a little bit because they will have shotguns. Some of them will, and so you don't want to get too close. But there you go. That's the entire fight. It's actually it's a very simple fight, assuming you know what to expect. And so if you're watching this video, then you know what to expect. Because I knew there was going to be 2 heavies. That's why I ran into the area with 3 claymores, and that's why I let the heavy get close to me, because I knew I was going to want to use his turret to kill the second one. So as long as you can strategize like that and just kind of plan ahead, it's really not that tough of a fight. And then, like I said, the cover in this area is really helpful. So a lot of times in these games, the cover is destructible, and it makes it hard to strategize for the fights because it's like, where do I hide? But this area, you don't face that. The cover is all solid structure, nothing to worry about there. So pretty simple fight. Might take you a couple tries, sure, but in terms of the fight we went through last chapter, and then like some of the fights in chapter 4, I think it was, or 5, not too hard, relative, you know. Alright, so now you're going to continue on climbing. Not sure if you could hear that cell phone ringing in the background. But go ahead and follow this little cave path here. Alright, and so now this is an area where you can kind of get turned around. So you're going to turn to the left and climb up here. Then take another left past this head. You can trigger a little conversation there if you want. But go ahead and climb up here. You'll see a rope swing. And you're going to rope swing right where you came from, but you can see there's this, you're going to rope swing on top of the doorway. So I'm going to get some momentum going, and then here we go. Now it's really weird because Chloe said we were just here. She's only supposed to say that if you miss the jump and land where you came from, which is the doorway. So I don't know why she said that. Maybe the game just glitched or something, but trust me, this is where you need to go. You need to get on top of the doorway that you originally came through. Alright, so now you'll see this giant structure, and the doorway is going to be blocked by debris, so go ahead and go up the left staircase, and you'll see this little little doorway right here that will allow you through. Luckily, it's conveniently human-sized, so kind of lucked out there. Alright, so once you get to this area, there's going to be some enemies up ahead. Don't even worry about them. You don't have to fight them. They're not going to fight you. Just run up, and then this will automatically happen. The doorway will be blown up. So you're going to have to find another way through. So you're going to run to the center of this little water area here, and you can actually swim down the tunnel. And you can swim all the way down under the crushed doorway. And you'll get to this spot, and you're safe. So from here, go ahead and go up the stairs. You're going to want to swing a left. And you're going to enter a library area where you can interact with some of the stuff just for some additional dialogue. But once you're ready to go, you're going to go around this shelf and approach the giant tusk in the center of the room. And that will trigger what I really like this cutscene. It's very meaningful and deep. So go ahead and watch that if you're interested. And then I'll see you afterwards.
Look at this.
It's incredible. It's an altar of some kind.
Looks like the king suffered dearly for their people.
They weren't just protecting the tusk. Historians believe that it was a symbol of power and dominance, but I reckon they misunderstood. It was a symbol of their people, their culture. It was a symbol of them.
Wait, so what are these?
Dad was here. Something big, all right. Why didn't that stupid bastard tell me?
You said it yourself. He wanted to keep you safe.
I can't let Asav get that tusk.
No. No, we can't.
Thank you.
Thank me after we get out of this alive.
Fair point.
Don't forget Ganesh.
Oh. Glad I brought this.
Alright, so after the scene, go ahead and make your way through that opened doorway. And I gotta say, that cutscene is exactly why I was looking forward to playing as Chloe in this game. Because in Uncharted 2, when Chloe was introduced, she was a cool character instantly. She was Drake's kind of love interest. You know, she had this kind of risque vibe. But other than that, we didn't know much about where she came from. You know, how she got into this, her backstory essentially. And, you know, we've been learning a little bit here and there about her backstory. So we learned that her dad was obsessed with the Tusk of Ganesh, and he sent Chloe and her mom away to Australia to protect them. And so we learn a little bit about her motives, but it wasn't until that cutscene where you really see how important this is to her. It's not just a treasure hunt. Like for Drake, not all the time, but a lot of Drake's treasure hunts were just just that. They were treasure hunts. He really had no personal attachment to them, at least not always. But you can see how Chloe is not necessarily motivated by the money she's going to earn from the tusk. This is much deeper than that, and I think it's just really great how they displayed that. Now you're going to jump over here, and you're going to see there's a camera option. I recommend not doing it. It's really annoying. Basically, if you trigger that camera, Nadine will push you down back into the water, and you'll have to do that entire climb over again. So, you know, it only takes about 30 seconds. It's really not that big of a deal. But I just thought that was really annoying. To make me climb again, I think they meant it to be funny, and I guess I can see how it's a little funny, but I was not enthused when I first came across that in my practice playthrough. So I recommend not doing that optional photo. Of course, if you're going for the platinum, you're going to have to do it, so you might as well. But yeah, you're going to enter another flooded area here. Go ahead and swim down once again. You'll see an opening right here at the base of the statue, or at the base of the wall. I think you can do this all in one swim, but I'm going to come up for air just to be safe.
The whole place is flooded.
Top of the doorway over here.
That'll work.
Alright, so go ahead and swim back down. Same thing. This one,
Okay.
she can actually come up
He does it.
to breathe.
Now,
What?
You know, one thing too is
I hate that.
the art people. What am I trying to say? The visual designers of this game. They did a really good job with Chloe's design, because you know, this game takes place probably not too long after Uncharted 4. And so if you played Uncharted 4, you noticed that you could see Drake had aged a couple years. You could see he looked a little older during the game. And the same is true for Chloe. It's not drastic or anything, but if you really look at her, you can see that she is, you know, she's a little older. And what that tells me is she's a little more experienced than she was in Uncharted 2 and 3. Not that she was inexperienced in those games, but you can just kind of see that brief physical aging in her design. Whereas with Nadine, you can't really tell, because Nadine was this age in Uncharted 4. So we don't know, you know, we never saw a younger Nadine. But I don't know, that was just something I kind of noticed when I first started this game. I could tell that she looked slightly older. And again, not much, but just slightly. And I don't know, I think they did a really good job with her design overall. But anyway, go ahead and turn that crank. This arm will move into place.
okay.
And then you're going to use this arm to jump over to that arm, climb up,
Coming?
and then go ahead and run up to the axe hand here so that you can jump the gap to this platform. And then you're going to be able to climb up once again and turn another crank. This part right here really reminds me of the part in Uncharted 2 when Drake is actually with Chloe, and there's the statue with 4 arms, and you have to align the arms in the proper positions. It was much smaller, much smaller than this statue, but the fact that it had 4 arms and you kind of had to climb all over it, that's what reminds me of. That's what this reminds me of. But anyway, go ahead and climb up the axe here. You do have to do this on a time limit, otherwise the arm will reset and you'll have to return the crank. But once you get about to this point, the axe is going to start swinging down, and as long as you stand there, Chloe will just automatically grab onto these handholds.
That was a close one.
So once she does that, go ahead and just go ahead and climb up the trident here. And this part's really weird.
Wow. I can see my house from here.
So she said that, and I was confident there was going to be a trophy, because in Uncharted 4 there's a trophy called, I think it's called I Can See My House From Here, and there's this giant clock tower, and if you climb to the very top of it, you unlock the trophy. And I don't know, I just thought when I climbed on top of that trident, I thought there was going to be like a little free trophy saying I could see my house from here, since those are the actual words she said, but obviously I was wrong. It's just thought I had, I guess. But anyway, slide down this slip and slide, and then swing over to this arm right here. Do be careful on the jump. If you jump from too high in the rope swing, you can kill yourself from fall damage. I know firsthand, so just be careful. Make sure you slow yourself down a bit before you actually let go of the rope. And let's see, guys, I'd love to know your thoughts on my walkthrough, and also your thoughts on the game. So if you're playing the game along with me, then I'd love to know what you think. How does it pair up against the other Uncharted games? Do you think it's better? Do you think it's worse? Do you think it's the same? And then in terms of my walkthrough, are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying the gameplay? Are the strategies helpful? Is the commentary entertaining? Anything like that, any comments, always appreciated. Now you'll see Nadine, she just like glitched across the map there, because as soon as you turn that crank, she'll start turning this crank. And again, this is a time limit one, so you got to do this within a certain amount of time, probably like 20 to 30 seconds. You're going to jump to the drum here, and then go ahead and climb up. Stay on the same side as Nadine, because once again, it's going to start falling, and you'll see this kind of awkward, like, Chloe's standing up on a tilted object, but yeah, that should happen automatically. So then once again, go ahead and make the jump, then make the climb.
And now we turn the water on to this side.
So this level is kind of long. It's, I think, 42 minutes.
And here we go.
And it's weird because it's one of those levels that as you're playing it, it doesn't necessarily feel long, because there's not that many hard parts that you know, that you have to keep trying. But it's just, there's a lot to do. There's a lot of climbing. There's this puzzle that we just solved. It's not just a simple puzzle. You literally have to traverse the entire statue to solve it. So and a similar thing is going to happen right here. So you're going to turn this crank, and you'll see, or I guess you can just see what's happening anyway.
That sounds promising.
Yeah. Third eye of Shiva. The light is shining on that statue across the way.
Alright, so after that, you'll be granted the option to rope swing across this enormous gap. So do just that. And then you'll see that the third eye of Shiva is creating a light that is going to enter the prism within the statue.
Here we go.
So you're going to have to turn it 180 degrees and make sure it's lined up just like this. And the two beams will be split to the two different statues.
Tend to the other two.
So you're going to want to go to this one first, because the second one is you can't do it without doing this one, because the second one is what completes the story. So, and you'll see why that is in a second. But anyway, go ahead and rotate this statue so that it is reflecting the light over. You can see the other statue over there. The mechanics here are a little weird. It depends on how you're orienting the camera, how you have to like control the joystick, and it's a little touchy, actually getting it in the right spot. But you're going to want to line it up with this statue, so you can see I finally did that.
Statue, but nothing's happening.
However, there's one small problem, and that is that the third statue is not in the proper place that it needs to be. So go ahead and approach it, and bring it to the right, and then luckily you don't have to go all the way back to that statue. Nadine will finish the job for you.
Nadine,
So go ahead and let go, and here she goes. Nadine will put the light in the proper place. So you see I just barely undershot it, so now I'm going to go ahead and move this statue slightly to the right. Look up, make sure that the beam is being reflected where it needs to be, and that's the first part. Alright, so now we're going to make our way to the opposite end of the room, and we're going to do the second light beam. And then after that, that's when we're going to get ambushed by quite a few enemies. Luckily, it's not that tough of a fight if you know what to expect, and that's exactly why I'm here with the walkthrough, to show you what to expect. So you should be able to get through it relatively easily. So now go ahead and go up here, and you'll notice that the statue is broken.
Well, shit. This one's busted.
Let me see.
Alright, so Nadine's going to grab the mirror. She'll act as the missing statue. And then you're going to go ahead, same thing, you're going to go over to this statue here and move it to the right so that it intercepts the beam that Nadine is reflecting. Now that's going to finish the puzzle, trigger a short cutscene, and then we'll get along with the fight.
No, wait for it. them over here. Just hold still for just a sec.
All this water. It's a cleansing ritual.
What's happening? Oh, you can put down the mirror now.
Shit.
They found us. Get ready. Sit. Oh, no. Get up here. Good. Got enough. Go.
Alright, so as soon as you have control of Chloe, notice how I grabbed the China Lake. It's not necessary here, but it just makes your life easier. If you don't have it, you don't have it. It's not the end of the world. Your first priority is to sit behind this structure here and kill the enemies that try to rush you on this staircase. You do not want to leave cover here because there's a grenade launcher enemy on the other end of this map, and he's very accurate. But before you can try to kill him, you want to make sure everyone else is dead. So you see right here, there's a couple enemies shooting me from behind, so I'm just going to be patient. I'm going to kill that guy. Now I can finish the job. So you want to make sure you kill him from far away. Again, it's hard, you got to be very accurate, but it should only take 3 or 4 shots to actually take him down. You can see just how accurate he is. It's unbelievable. So there we go. He's dead. Now there's going to be 2 more in his place, but they will not spawn until you make your way further down the map. So don't necessarily worry about them for now. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the sniper rifle because it will make my life easier. The China Lake's great, but in this case the sniper is going to help a lot. So pick whatever weapon you want. If you'd rather take an assault rifle, by all means take an assault rifle. But now you see you're going to get to the corner here. A couple more guys are going to rush you. Now once again, one thing that makes this an easy fight is that the cover is non-destructible. So you can pretty much hide anywhere and you'll be fine. You see this guy, you got to be careful. They can easily sneak up behind you based on the layout of this map. So you just got to be careful. Luckily Nadine was there to finish the job. But I was in cover anyway, so it's not like I was going to die. Alright, so just kind of hang back, make sure no one else is in the area, and then you can run up a bit more. Now notice how I ran up just slightly to trigger the next wave of enemies, and then I'm going to retreat back to this corner. That's for a number of reasons. One, from this corner, the rocket launcher enemy I mentioned won't be able to kill you. So by this point, the second guy should have spawned. So he won't be able to really hurt you from this location. But 2, the more distance you can put in between you and the enemy, the better. Now right here, do not do what I do. You're going to see I wasted a lot of shots on this guy right here. I think I missed like 4 or 5 times. Finally, I took him out, but that was not good. No es bueno. That was a big waste of sniper rifle ammo, which is very valuable. So try not to do that. Now you see once you get far enough up here, the platform is eventually going to give way, so you're going to have to move up no matter what. And now you're going to be rushed by a few more enemies. And then keep in mind there is another rocket launcher enemy that's going to spawn. So again, try to make him your priority. Try to take him out first if you can. Sometimes you can't necessarily help it if you start getting rushed by other enemies. But you see here, there we go. I took him out just to be safe. Now here I got into a bit of a sticky situation because I ran out of pistol ammo. Luckily I threw a perfect grenade right here. And then I was able to pick up his pistol to kill the second guy. So sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you just got to be quick acting and adapt to the situation. That's what separates, you know, hardest difficulty players from non-hardest difficulty players. So not everything can be perfect. But you might not have run out of pistol ammo like I did, so you might not even be in that situation. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish this guy with my sniper rifle because I don't really need it anymore, because now I'm getting close enough to the area that I can use assault rifles effectively. Alright, so now go ahead and creep up a little more. That's when the 3rd rocket launcher enemy is going to spawn. So instead of running up, I'm going to grab this pistol first. That's a really good pistol. But now I'm going to take him out from behind this structure here, because this structure serves as very, very effective cover. So I'm just going to wait for him to make a mistake. So I missed 1 shot, unfortunately. But ultimately, oh, maybe I didn't even miss a shot. I think I killed him. Yeah, I did kill him. Alright, so now once you kill him, you can continue up, and a couple enemies are going to spawn from this doorway here. So I'm going to go ahead and do as much damage as I can. Alright, so now this guy is going to jump the gap, try to kill him before he can get any closer to you, because he is a heavy. But again, with those guys, it's really easy to kill them just with headshots. Just get a headshot to knock the helmet off, and then get another headshot to finish the job. And then finally, there's going to be 3 enemies that spawn from the doorway. I'm going to go ahead and go crazy with my grenades, because there's not going to be any more combat in this section. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Once those 3 are taken care of, go ahead and jump the gap, and that will automatically trigger this little scripted event. You'll fall down, and that will lead you to kind of a long cutscene.
Well, now that was quite the fall. You had me worried. Come, it's time for a reunion. He wouldn't give you up, despite my efforts to persuade him.
Sam!
Jesus.
Hey, you made it.
Dude.
It's all right. He is like a girl.
Is that right? How about we get these cuffs off and I'll show you how girls hit.
The hell is she doing here?
You said find help, I gotta help.
Yeah.
I must admit, you are quite the schemer. First you steal my disc, then you have your expert run me around in circles, huh? That's clever. Perhaps there's a little Indian blood in you after all.
Sure. I'll take the credit.
Well, let's finish what we started.
All right, all right. So, Nadine.
Alright, so after the scene, you can basically just follow. I mean, you're going to be forced to walk here anyway, but you're going to follow Sam and Nadine. And yeah, so it's really cool, I think, that they brought Sam into this game, because when they said, when they said Nathan Drake was not going to be in this game, I don't think that disappointed anyone, because Uncharted 4 wrapped things up pretty neatly. You know, Nathan Drake is retired, he's out of the game for good, and it's a satisfying ending. But Sam, Sam was only just introduced in Uncharted 4. So to have, he's a character that people wanted to see more of, and he has a lot of story to be told, especially because, he has no plans of retiring. If anything, Sam is going to be the next Sully. Sam's going to be doing this till he's old and dead. So it was really cool, I thought, that they brought Sam into this game, especially considering his history with Nadine. So I thought that was a really wise choice, and I'm excited to see how they're going to use him in the last couple of chapters of this game. But anyway, so go ahead and just keep following the path here, and walk up to Asav to open this doorway. Asav, by the way, is a really cool villain, I think. But you're going to come to this room here, and then watch a cutscene, and then we'll solve a puzzle.
Oh, that's ominous.
It appears the kings have one final test.
Looks like you won't be needing us, though, so we'll just be on our
On
way.
the contrary. Surely you know the story. You see, Shiva gave Parashuram the mighty axe that struck Ganesh in the face, bringing Shiva's son, one of the greatest of the gods, to his knees. Another casualty of war.
Don't.
Yeah, seriously, Chloe, he's just gonna kill him!
He's right. But if you refuse, You will watch them die, inch by inch.
All right!
Chloe, don't!
Alright, so before you can start trying to solve the puzzle, and keep in mind it's a pretty simple one, you're going to go ahead and turn or pull down these two levers here,
Shiva and Parashurama.
and that will reveal two pictures for you.
Parashurama and Ganesh.
And now we're going to return to the disc to solve the middle symbol. So what you're going to want to do first is control the outer ring and get it in place so that the feet are at the bottom. Then you're going to do the inner ring. Basically, you're going to try to line up everything as best you can. So just go from ring to ring and line it all up so you can see how it'll rotate, sure, but just get it lined up as best you can. So this one, I think I actually messed it up. It was already lined up. But yeah, so don't even worry about how they rotate right now. Just try to get all of it lined up. Now you're going to go to the inner ring, and this is the one that's going to kind of mess it up. So just get it lined up like that. Now switch to the outer ring. Switch to the next ring. And ignore this step right here. So you'll notice how I'm rotating. I'm going to put it back in place. So ignore this step. Switch to the next ring. Get that lined up. And then that will be it. Now switch to the very outer ring, and it'll be solved. So again, that's a puzzle that's hard to explain with words. It's easier to just watch exactly what I do. But overall, it's a pretty easy puzzle to solve. If you just mess around with it for a little bit, you should be able to get through it no problem. And then finally, you're going to have to lower all 4 arms on Ganesh. So go ahead and lower the first one, use triangle to switch to the next one, and just make them go as low as they possibly can. And once you're done, press circle to finish the puzzle, and then that will trigger another cutscene.
He yielded.
Are you all right?
Yeah. That was unexpected.
Holy shit, she's got balls, huh?
I don't understand.
It's an idiot.
That's because you've got it all twisted, my friend. Ganesh allowed himself to be struck by the axe.
That makes no sense.
Not to a selfish prick, no. See, Ganesh could have defeated Parashurama easily. But if he had, that would have made Shiva's axe look weak, powerless.
Ganesh sacrificed himself to preserve his father's honor.
See, even she gets it, not a drop of Indian blood in her.
Magnificent, isn't it? Oh, what? Nothing to say now?
Oh, if you like, I can tell you where to stick it.
Well, my friends, I would love to kill you myself, but we must not anger the gods, for you have brought me a great fortune.
Okay, then what are you doing?
You're going to flood the chamber.
I will miss you.
Come on, is this really necessary?
You know, nothing is ever truly destroyed, only purified and reborn.
Just shoot us and get it over with.
Right?
As the water fills your lungs, you will have time to reflect on the choices that brought you here. Perhaps in your next lives, you will fare better.
Prick.
I don't know about you guys, but I got a lot of regrets swimming around in my head right now.
Tell me about it. I was really looking forward to kicking your ass again.
Hey, you know, I'm not exactly thrilled about drowning next to you either.
Could you give it a rest, guys? I'm trying to concentrate.
What are you doing?
Alright, so to end the level, once you gain control of Chloe, you're going to have to break out of your own handcuffs. And don't worry at this next scene, so the wall's going to blow open and the chamber is going to start being flooded. That is completely scripted. It's not because you failed to pick the lock fast enough. So go ahead and pick Chloe's lock. Water's going to keep rising, and then eventually you're going to do the same thing for Nadine's cuffs right here. So go ahead, and then again, you're not going to be able to do it on the first time. You're going to have to wait until everyone is submerged underwater. Then you can go ahead and do it. Now finally, you're going to work your way to Sam, and you're going to end up dropping it, and so you're just going to have to mash the triangle button to break him free of what he is attached to, and that'll pretty much do it, guys. So once again, this is Chapter 7. Overall, not too tough. The firefights are nowhere near as tough as the one in Chapter 6, but hopefully my strategies were able to help you out. If they did, feel free to like and subscribe, and yeah, that'll pretty much do it. So go ahead and just swim as fast as you can to the surface. You are going to have to dodge some falling debris, so go ahead and make sure you do that. And then once you reach the top, the video will end with a cutscene. All right, see you later.
Everyone good?
No waterlogged.
Doing great. I gotta quit smoking.
Down! Think they saw us?
Let's hope not.
How the hell did Asaf get that helicopter?
Maybe it's the buyers.
What do you mean?
Just overheard Asaf talking about heading to the old rail yard. Something about an arms deal.
He's selling the tusk.
So much for preserving his culture.
Hey, just a second. Listen, back there. Thanks for...
Professional courtesy.
Of course. So, are we good?
No.
I figured.
If we hurry, we can intercept them before they make the sail. Huh. And there's our ride.
These are nice.
There. Railroad tracks.
Stop here.